Late Night with Johnny P show is pre-recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Hey, this is Jamie Lynn Macchia. I'm Miss New York, and I'm so excited to support the Johnny P show. I love him, and enjoy.
So, you don't have a week to hang out with him. Here's an hour with Johnny P. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together, make some noise for your host this evening, Johnny P.
That's all you got? Welcome to Late Night with Johnny P show. I'm your host for the evening. It's January 28, 2016. What a lovely audience. How the hell are you? Yeah. We got a lovely audience. We got a lot of shady people in the audience over there. Mike, how did you let half these people in here? Oh, I see. We got a retired cop back there. That's why I got some of my old friends from the neighborhood, and my cousins are here. So, you know, let's give them a hand. I don't know if they want me to mention their names, but, you know, I know you're out there. So, but we got a special night tonight. Tonight is actually season 9, the start of a 100 show, and you're here to celebrate it with me. So, come on, let's give it up. Now I got to pee. Wait. But actually, you know, 9 years, it's been a lot of work, a lot of aggravation, but in the end, it's worth it. I started here at CTV in 1997 when I was heavily in the music business. I'm sure you all remember my band NYB, right? Yeah. So I came here, that's it. So I came here to get certified, and certified mental crazy, but editing, and started producing a show, The Gangsters of Rock. And it was like a gangster Wayne's World underground, low-budget show. So I did that for about 45 episodes, and 2 Nova Awards later, then I stopped. And then 5 years later, I came here, 2008, and we never looked back. And we're here 100 episodes today. So thank you all for coming. Yeah. Now, what's trending on the internet the past month, I mean, it's been actually the last couple of months, who's going to be our president for 2017? And, you know, that's a tough one. I mean, show of hands, how many Obama fans do we have out there? Yeah. I love, this is my audience. How many not Obama fans do we have out there? Yeah. Now, listen, I'm not prejudiced, and I don't like this one and that one. I like who I like, and whoever likes Obama, I apologize that it insults you, but it is what it is. Look where we are. But now, with the Republican, Donald Trump, 21%. How many Donald Trump fans out there? What about Hillary? Anyone like Hillary here? Yeah. All right, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. We're doing all right. Who likes who out there? Christy, John, who do you like? Anybody? All right, all said. But listen, we got a great show for you tonight, so let's move it on along. Our first guest up tonight, she was formerly Miss Staten Island, currently Miss New York. This year she was on the Miss American Beauty Pageant, and she's here tonight to say hello. My good friend Jamie Lynn Macchia, Miss New York. Yeah. From the VH1 classic show, That Metal, we have comedian Don Jamieson in the house. Come on, I want to hear you. You're like a bunch of old ladies out there. And my special guest tonight, he's a rock and roll Hall of Famer. He's a Lifetime Achievement Award winner. He's from the legendary punk rock band, the Ramones. We got the one and only Marky Ramone hailing from Brooklyn tonight. Yeah. And we can't forget my band of merry men, my Letterman Paul Schaefer band. We got Tony Trainer in the late night band, but where's Tony?
Well, you know, things happen.
Frankie.
We're representing Tony.
Artie, how you doing? Now, what's your name, young fella?
Clef.
Clem?
Clef.
Oh, Clef, okay. Now,
Cliff, Keith.
I know. Tony's actually, unfortunately, his wife had a car accident tonight in Manhattan, and she's, thank God, she's doing okay. She got a little banged up, but Tony couldn't make it tonight, so you know what? And this shows dedication, because a lot of acts would bail on me.
No.
Tony made a call while he's not even know if his wife was dead, God forbid, and got this fella right here, and they're here. What's so funny? It's the truth. That's what the Italians do, all right? Remember that. So let's see what you guys got. Entertain these fine folks. Hit it.
Let's go where you going. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. The late night band. Give it up. No, now you're gonna make me pee again. All right, thank you again. It's our 100th episode, and this show is dedicated to a dear friend of ours who died on January 24, 2015, the late, great, legendary talk show host, Joe Franklin, and he was a great man. He sat right there a couple of years back, and he'll be well missed. Joe Franklin, everybody. Yeah. All right, I'd like to say special thank you to the Staten Island Advance and Staten Island Live. Carol Ann Benanti did a beautiful full-page write-up on the Late Night Show 100 episode. So, Carol Ann Benanti, give her a hand. Thank you, Carol. But for everybody who wasn't here when our last show was out, New Year 2016 special, and had a lot of great guests. We had the reunion of NYB. We had actor Apache Ramos from The Warriors. He played one of the orphans. Angela Brooks from Talent and Motion magazine, and we had late night comedian Craig Loigren. It was a really good show, and you doing?
I'm good.
Just watch your hair. Might make some noise.
All right, I'll fix it. I should know by now.
Yeah.
This is my third time on your show. I had to be here for the 100th episode.
That's right. Third time's a charm. I mean, you really surprised me. I mean, I heard that you were coming down, and I was like, dynamite.
Yes, I had to be here. And you know what? I actually have my own cue cards for you.
Uh-huh.
So I can ask you. This time I can interview you instead of you interviewing me.
This is it. We're going to be the next Regis and Kathy, me and this girl one day.
Yeah, we're Regis and Kelly. I look like Kelly.
Right. You're a lot prettier than Kelly Ripa. What do you think, guys? Come on.
I think I can do it.
New York.
Kelly, I'm sorry.
I think I can do it.
Kelly Ripa's pretty, but I like brunettes better. What are you going to
so
do?
100th episode. How do you feel?
Me? How do I feel?
Yeah.
I almost had an anxiety attack before I got here.
No. Are you excited?
No, yeah, it's great. No, this is dynamite. It's a milestone. I mean, you know, I remember yesterday when we just started season 1. It was, I used to have to like get the guy who made the bagels down the block, or the guy who fixed the tires at the gas station when I first started. You know, whatever Joe Schmo from down the block. But then, as time went on, just things started to happen. Like actually, one of our guests tonight, Don Jameson, and Vinny Pastore from The Sopranos were on the same night back in 2010. After that show, it kind of opened up the doors for all the other bigger actors and the bigger guests to come on the show, which is, it's been a gas. I mean, it's a lot of work,
Yeah.
you know, but
And then you got Miss New York.
And Mrs. Come on, you're the
I
best.
know.
I mean,
I should ask you your favorite memory, but I would want it to be me being on the show. So I don't know. What is your favorite memory of all the shows?
there's so many. You really can't say anything. If I have to say anything, I have to say...
Bagel guy.
Yeah, the bagel guy, yeah.
Definitely.
Brought me a salami sandwich. No, I like Joe Franklin. I mean, everybody was great, and everyone had their own charm. But Joe Franklin, I feel like I got his spirit in me. I mean, I went after I met him and got to know him. I got to sit in his office, and he mentored me, and I talked with him, and he gave me a lot of confidence. And he just, I felt when he died, it was a big loss for me. I saw him the night before he died in the hospital. He was in hospice in the city, but I just had the honor of knowing him. I only knew him for about 4 years before he died, but I got tight. He pulled me in. I mean, if I would have met him 20, 30 years ago, I would have been hooked up. But what I learned from him and just being with him, I feel like I gotta just keep this going until the end.
Yes.
Whether I don't know where I'm gonna end up. Whatever it is, it is, it is.
Gotta keep it going.
Gotta keep it
200
going.
episodes?
I hope by then I'm going to be on some network making money, or I'm going to be in the street.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I think you'll make it, and maybe I'll be back. I'll be back for the 200th.
We're going to do a co-host spot. I told you down the road.
Yeah.
Early summer, I'm going to bring it back on.
I'm ready. I'm ready to do it.
It's going to be awesome.
That'd be awesome. I think it'd be great. Oh my gosh.
So what
All
else?
right.
What else?
Let's see. I mean, all right. Let's ask you more things. So. You had a lot of big names. I know that he was your favorite, so let's hear some more. After the bagel guy, how many big names
and
did
all
you
my
have?
all my guests out there, don't get insulted. I know I'm going to hear this tomorrow. I'm going to get a bunch of phone calls when this thing airs, but I can't mention everybody. You know, I love you all, and pretty much all my guests are part of my family. And okay, we're going to go on. Joe Franklin, actor William Forsythe, who was in Out for Justice, the Gotti movie, 150 different flicks, 5-time world boxing champion Vinny Pazienza. Actor from Blue Bloods, Robert Clohessy was a great guy. Original member of Public Enemy, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, Keith Shockley. Actor Vincent Pastore, who played Big Pussy on The Sopranos. Reality star Big Ange from The Mob Wives. Radio personality who comes down and supports us, Joe Corsi from WCBS-FM. Radio personality Hollywood Hamilton for WKTU 103.5. Vinny McDuno, he's like on our level, but he's been the best support for everybody. I love Vinny's going to be like the next Ryan Seacrest one day.
I love Vinny. He knows that.
Comedian Pete Davidson, who's on Saturday Night Live right now. I had him on 2009 and 2010. I knew he was going to be a star. Now he's like one of the head comedians on Saturday Night Live, and he'll be back here. Actor Haywood Nelson from the hit series What's Happening from All Our Days. Remember What's Happening? Dwayne. Billboard charting freestyle artists we had on the show as George Lamond, TKA, Suave, and Jill Terrell. Actors from The Sopranos, and I had more. I can't mention them all. A-listers, Artie Pasquale, Al Sapienza from House of Cards, Lou Martini Jr., Danny Grimaldi, and rock bands, just my local guys, Richie Scarlett, of course, NYB, Screaming Broccoli, and last but not least, my dedicated late-night guests who've been with me forever with the comedies, Gemini and Craig Loigren and Pete Michael. So everybody else, you know where my loyalty lies, so let's give them a hand.
Definitely. definitely came a long way from the start.
Yeah.
So, speaking about the start, I know you used to have co-hosts, right?
I'm glad you asked me that question.
So what happened? No more co-hosts.
I got sick of working with the girl co-host. To tell you the truth, it got to be. It got.
But he wants to bring me on.
No, it's the truth. And if everybody's watching, it's the truth. Listen, I had a girl for a while. I had to get rid of her. She wanted to take the show over. The second girl I had, Dana, she was dynamite. And we were together for 3 years on the show, 3.5 years. She was the best, but then she got lazy. Then she demanded that her name was on the show. Late Night with Johnny P and Dana. All right. I go, listen, I wish I was your co-host. I mean, really, because the co-host comes on and does this thing. It ain't even half the work that we have to do behind the scenes. So she had to go. But then I had a couple other people. What, am I funny? So we had a couple other great girls, great talent, but you know, it's a chemistry. And I was running out of patience, and I just said, you know what? Everyone was pushing me, all these actors, do it yourself. So I finally got off my ass, and I had to take a bunch of steps back for about a half a year, bad shows, and just, I would never walk out like this. It took me a while to get to do that. Now I love that.
All right, so what are your plans after this?
The plans are, and everyone's going to say I'm crazy, and it is what it is. The plans are to get this to a network, and whether it's big or small, MTV, NBC, if we have to strong arm and put the late night shows in the trunk and take them for a ride, that's what we do. But whatever it is, right? Now, I got my good friend here, Vinny McDunio. Come on up here. Give him a hand from WCBS FM. Fast.
I love her.
Is he the greatest?
I already said it. I didn't even see you sitting there.
I'm always around. Johnny P, I couldn't miss your 100th show.
All right.
Here's to 175 more.
All right, because since you're late, you only got a couple of minutes up there. I'm only teasing you. So what's going on?
What's going on? I just got out of work and said I had to come see Johnny P for his 100th show.
No, what do you do? The Catholic school teaching tonight? What's that called?
No. I was actually in high school land tonight.
All right, good.
Yeah, Catholic school's only on the weekend.
All right, good. Vinny's a good guy.
You're an even better guy.
I appreciate
100 shows, everybody. Johnny P.
Yeah. Oh, order. All right, cool.
We had to chuck all the females when I started coming, and that's why you got the
that's in the Vinny
best co-host, right?
That's right. Vinny comes in and he co-hosts with me. We're like Hollywood Hamilton and Goomba Johnny.
Only more handsome.
But Vinny's the one who hooked me up with all those freestyle acts, so we do it together. And then
we have a good time.
So what do you think? We bring on some guests for some late night trivia? How about you be a guest for late night trivia? You want to sit there?
All right, sure. Why not?
You might lose.
Let's do some questions.
Let's have some fun.
These questions ain't for you, but you might get it because you are. Let me see. Anybody want to come up and sit? Michael, my cousin, you want to come up here? No? What about John Mayo or Sean McCluskey or Danny or Billy C? Kenny, I know Kenny doesn't want to come up. Come on. What about anybody in the band? Any of you guys? Come on. Frankie came up before.
I have no problem with that.
Frank Bassani, everybody.
Nice to see you.
All right. Now,
the only panelist, this is it?
You got Miss New York. She's the most credible name up here.
I have the answers. I'm asking them.
You might have the answers on those cards.
you might do good with this. Vinny?
Maybe.
I think we need to mic you, though. We got a clip here. You know what
You
I'm
better
talking
clip
about?
him.
Everybody comes to the Johnny P show and they get clipped.
I was just wondering about that. I'm clipped.
There you go.
It could be like my friend Big Pussy. They're going to kill me.
What do you
forget it.
Dump me off the Gospels Bridge.
He's wearing a wire. Watch this guy.
That's perfect. Well, Frankie actually plays with a lot of bands. He also plays with Vinny Pastor's Gangster Squad. So he does a lot of stuff, Frank and us. So now listen, Vinny, this is for you. It's that metal show, okay?
Come on, I'm a disco guy.
I know, it doesn't matter. This you might be able to get.
You weren't even born.
That's right.
Let me talk. You ready? On that metal show, what members of Kiss were the only ones to make it on that metal show? Now think about this, because I know you're a smart guy.
Definitely Ace Frehley was one of them.
Okay, you got one.
Okay. How many more guesses do I get?
You're pretty much out of guesses, but I'll give you one more.
Peter Criss?
Says it's the one. Peter Criss and Ace Frehley. Okay, good.
That was very good.
All right.
You got some Kiss 3 there.
But if the prize is not a signed picture of you, I don't want it.
All right. You got it. You're out of luck then.
Cool. All right, it's my turn. All right, are you ready? What glam rock band did Marky Ramone audition for in 1972?
Dust.
No. One more guess. I'll give you a hint.
1972.
They were big on the on that punk rock scene. They
Then 72?
Rocky Horror Picture Show. I give you a guess.
Oh, wow.
You got a couple of seconds here.
You're timing me? I was going to say that, but that wasn't a glam band. Meatloaf wasn't Meatloaf.
No, that's it. You lost.
Oh,
New York
man.
Doll.
New York Dolls.
Say that.
You know what?
You should have phoned a friend.
Steve Conti.
Yeah.
He's a friend of mine.
Should have phoned a friend. All right, we'll give you another one. Ready? The New
Is this
York
me or both of us?
No, you.
It's you.
Just
This
one.
is you. I
You
won
already
already.
got it.
I
You
already
won.
won.
If I didn't know Vinny was coming.
Ready? The New York City world famous club CBGB is where the Ramones performed a lot in their early career and was like a second home to them. What does CBGB stand for?
Country. Oh, CBGB. Country bluegrass.
Yeah. All right, Frank.
Wait, there's another word.
Wait. CB. I feel like a three-year-old here. A, B, C, D, E, F.
CBGB.
Country, bluegrass, and western. No, CBG.
You were close enough.
Yeah, right?
You were close enough. Country, bluegrass, and blues.
Oh,
that would
there
be
you
the
go.
B.
That was
Listen, if we were pressed for time, you guys be beat. But
Got
that's
it.
But
So I did okay, right?
We got
I
some
got one
cool,
half question right.
We got some cool stuff. We got Richie Scarlett's new signed CD.
Oh, that's actually really cool.
Whoever, you guys got to fight over this. Peter Barron CD. We have Peter Barron tickets for New York City. We got, of course, an NYB CD we got to throw in there. And a couple of Ramone CDs that you'll get after the show.
Very
Great.
cool.
All right?
Very
Thanks for
cool.
letting me participate.
Frank and Vinny, let's give them a
I
hand.
just had to come and say happy.
Thank you, buddy. I'll see you later.
Yeah, absolutely. You're the bomb.
You're the bomb.
Let's check on that trivia.
I will. I'd love to clip this.
All right, now listen, before we go, TV Guys top 5 watch shows for January 2016. And number 5, we have Blue Bloods at 14.3 million. 4 is The Big Bang Theory at 19.7 million. 60 Minutes at number 3 at 21.3 million. College Football Championship was 25.8 million. And for number 1, the NFL Playoff at 33.9 million. 33.9 million on a fucking NFL game? Jesus. My first guest up tonight, you see them on the VH1 Classic, That Metal Show. Let's give him a late night welcome for my good friend, comedian Don Jameson.
Very rockin'. Give it up for the band, everybody. And of course, our master of ceremonies, Johnny P. Johnny, yeah. Johnny, call me crazy, but I am sensing a very, very faint Staten Island accent. And by faint, I mean outrageous. It's good to be here. Where's my rockers in the crowd? Nice to see you. Any fans of That Metal Show? Yeah. Thanks to you 3 people. That Metal Show is the longest running show in VH1 history, so thank you so much for supporting. It sounds nice, but it's kind of like having the most teeth at a Willie Nelson concert. Or being the smartest one on Here Comes Honey Boo Boo. Don't really mean much. But yeah, it's a hard rock and heavy metal talk show. Me and a couple of my buddies, we've been doing it for a while. We've had great legends on our show, like Ace Frehley from Kiss, Geddy Lee from Rush, and the great Marky Ramone, who you're going to meet in a few minutes. We even had Axl Rose. We interviewed him. Any Guns N' Roses fans in the house? Yeah, I love Guns N' Roses. They're one of the most hardcore bands ever, right? Because when they were recording their first album, Appetite for Destruction, they were so poor, they actually all lived together in a storage unit in Los Angeles. Pretty hardcore, right? Yeah. That's why I wish they had that show Storage Wars on the air back then. Can you imagine that? I paid $1,300 for that unit. I got 2 groupies, 3 pounds of heroin, and Guns N' freaking Roses, man. See a guy wheeling Axl behind him on one of those hand carts. Guy next to him's all pissed off because he bid twice as much for the other unit and he got friggin' Coldplay. But yeah, I want to make a reality show out of a Guns N' Roses song. They have a song called Mr. Brownstone. right? So I want to do a reality show, and I'm going to call it So You Think You Can Dance with Mr. Brownstone. Right? You get 12 of your favorite D-list celebrities, send them on a month-long heroin binge. Whoever doesn't OD by the end wins the whole thing, right? Yes, as predicted, our winner, Keith Richards, once again. I love Keith Richards, man, right? Stones fans? Yeah, Keith Richards is writing children's books now. I read his first one, Curious George Learns to Freebase. It's really good. It's good for the kids. Any AC/DC fans in the house? Yeah. Come on, you're not even American if you don't like AC/DC, right? They've been playing the same 3 chords for the last 40 years, man. Right? Angus Young's been wearing the same schoolboy outfit for the last 40 years. The only thing that can stop that band now is a B-sharp minor chord and Jared from Subway being released from prison. Don't get PC on me, rockers. We're the last people left who aren't politically correct. Am I right? Come on. Right? We don't walk around calling Black Sabbath African American Sabbath. The Red Hot Chili Peppers aren't the indigenous Native American Hot Chili Peppers. Right? AC/DC's not bisexual Australians, right? Right? Come on. We're so politically correct in this day and age, man. It's making me crazy. Everything you say gets you in trouble. God forbid I came here to the Johnny P show and stood up here and made fun of Caitlyn Jenner, right? Oh, God. Then half of Staten Island is protesting out in front of my house. I got to write a letter of apology to the whole LGBT HDTV community. Everything you say, people take literally, right? I went in to get a cup of coffee today. I said to the woman behind the counter, hey, could I get a small black? She handed me Kevin Hart. And he fit right in the cup, man. He's adorable. And delicious are 2 Splendas and some soy milk, I'm telling you. But yeah, we're not PC. I like that, man. The rockers are the only people left who are not politically correct, man. And I love women who rock. I wish there was more chicks who rock. Am I right? Come on, women who rock are sexy. I remember the first female band I ever got into. I didn't even know who they were. They were just so sexy on the front cover of their album. Took it home. Didn't even listen to it. Masturbated for 2 weeks straight. Until I realized it was the first Poison album. And then I only masturbated to it once in a while after that. Remember Twisted Sister, man? They're still going. Yeah, Twisted Sister's the best, man. Remember those videos from the 80s? We're not going to take it. I want to rock. They were wearing women's lingerie and makeup. I was like, either these are the ugliest chicks from New York City or the hottest chicks from Ronkonkoma. I don't even know what that means. I just like saying the word Ronkonkoma. It's a funny word. The first time I saw Dee Snider in a magazine, I was like, oh, my God. You know, friggin' Bernadette Peters really let herself go. Hey, that's my time. Thanks so much. I'm Don Jameson.
How's it going, buddy?
Yeah, pretty good, dude.
You know, the last time you were here was, I'm a bit of a nostalgia guy myself. It's September 23rd, 2010. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. I remember it like it was 5 years ago,
Yeah.
September 23rd.
It seems like yesterday. Vinny Pastore?
Yeah, we were hanging out with Vinny, and but hey, what's 5 years between friends? Now we got something to talk about.
And listen, I've been seeing you throughout the years coming to that metal show. And
Yeah, coming to the tapings.
the Chiller.
Chiller Theater, yeah.
Can't beat Chiller. Now listen, for people who don't know you, because the last time you were on, we really didn't talk about it. I want to give everybody a little family background, where you're from, your neighborhood.
My name, what am I? That's not the kind of information I like to give out, Johnny.
All right.
There's some very shady-looking characters in your audience. Well, I'm a Jersey guy, man. I come from Jersey, and, that's where I grew up.
Always?
Pretty much, yeah, man. Jersey guy. So lived in Manhattan for a bunch of years, but bought a house back in Jersey about 4 years ago, just in time to get destroyed by Hurricane Sandy. So everything's good. Yeah.
Unbelievable. So how old were you when you got into comedy?
I started late, man. I started when I was 29, and now that I'm almost 30, I think I'm, really getting the hang of it.
Now, what was actually your career? What did you actually want to do with your life? I mean, how'd you fall into comedy? I mean, was it just from your friends going to go see them?
I just, what, man? I always loved comics. When I was a kid, I used to listen to, Richard Pryor and George Carlin tapes, like in my room with the Radio Shack cassette recorder, and I put the little thing in my ear because, I didn't want my parents hearing me listen to this stuff, man. And I just always loved comics. Even though I didn't understand a lot of it when I was like 11, I knew it was subversive, you know, and I knew it was something I wanted to be involved with. And then that's how my love, you know, of hard rock and metal started. The same thing. Like when I saw Kiss Destroyer, I was like,
that was my first record.
Yeah, man. It's like these are superheroes. They're rock stars. They're comic book characters all rolled into one, you know? And so here it is years later, and like those two worlds for me have collided, which is cool.
Yeah, like when we got those albums when we were a kid, it was like the best thing in the world, right?
Yeah, because I was like, everything rolled into one. You know, like what could be better than this? You know, so I put all the Kiss posters on my wall, up on my ceiling. My parents went crazy. Where's this all going to lead to? You know, so here we are, like I said, you know, 40 years later. And
I got my man cave. I still got the Kiss posters up.
Really?
Yeah. They're all downstairs in my basement.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't want to grow up to a point. That's where you go and you hide out and you forget about the world.
Yeah, but I mean, we're not going to change what kind of music we like at this point. I'm not going to just start listening. I'm not going to get Bieber fever all of a sudden. I'm 49.
My girlfriend's like, why don't you sell everything here? We could get something with this. I go, I got a lot of stuff, but what do you really think I'm going to get for this? Like, she thinks I got like $1 million worth of stuff.
Right, well, it's, you know, it's sentimental value.
Yeah, it's sentimental value, 100,000%. Now, you've been doing a lot of stuff lately. You got a new stand-up CD, titled Live and Hilarious, and you got the other Terrorize and Telemarketers, Volume 6. This is with you and Jim Florentine, right?
Yeah, we, you know...
Talk about this.
Well, everybody hates telemarketers, right? So, you know, while your nice viewers and the nice people in the studio audience are out doing constructive things for society, Jim and I have nothing to do during the day, so we wait home for telemarketers to call, and we torture them, and we make albums.
I remember when you first came on. Let's get a camera shot of this. I remember when you were first on the show, and you were talking about this, and we were talking about the Jerky Boys.
Yeah.
Carmel and everybody, how they were your influences.
Well, yeah, Kamal and Johnny were the first people to do it on a grand, you know, schedule, and I know Kamal very well, and he's always like, he goes, you guys are good, but don't forget who the creators were.
No,
yeah, absolutely.
No,
man.
he's the best. He's like one guy you talk to, and he busts your chops and just let him get away with it.
Yeah, you know, well, look, I mean, it's cool to be able to make prank CDs, and it went to #2 on the comedy charts on iTunes. So
yeah.
It's good that people, you know,
Top
they
10
still want to laugh.
On the comedy charts, right?
Yeah.
On the Billboard, yeah, good for you, man.
And #9 on Billboard, yeah. So we appreciate everybody supporting our nonsense. We both had relationships break up around the same time, so we had a lot of rage, so we had to take it out on somebody.
Now talk about your live CD, the new one.
No, I got a live CD.
Second one, right?
I've got two, yeah. They're both out on a record label called Metal Blade Records.
Metal Blade Records, great.
And they, you know, Metal Blade is obviously a heavy metal label, but, you know, they've been putting out my CDs now, which is really cool. They put that one out as well. And, you know, the thing is when you're a comic, you don't want to be censored. So, you know, to be on a label that had, you know, Slayer and Cannibal Corpse, pretty sure they're not going to censor my comedy.
Yeah, well, like look at a lot of stuff that Chris Rock is doing these days. I mean, it's all raw.
Well, yeah, I mean, and, you know, I always say that thing in my act about, you know, let's not be politically correct, because you got to make sure, like, you got to remind people it's okay to laugh, you know. It's comedy. It's not take this stuff seriously. They're jokes, and people in this country have lost their sense of humor.
Laughing is the best form of medicine. I mean, it is. We live in a serious society. There's a lot of problems and everything else, but laughing I think is great.
Well, yeah, I mean, look, when you're Donald Trump and you're in the middle of a debate and you make Rosie O'Donnell fat jokes and people laugh, you're like, oh, this is great, you know.
It is great to
Trump
a point.
for president, man.
I think that's just his only downfall. I mean, yeah, it's funny in the beginning, but I mean, if he's going to really go to the end, I think he just has to. I mean, in my opinion, and a lot of people I talk to, that he does pull it back a little. He could do that, but by doing that, he's gonna ruin himself and lose a lot of votes from people that he could probably get the votes from. I mean, you know, I don't know. Anybody's better than Obama, and that's all I have to say.
Well, we'll see what happens.
But Don, it's always a pleasure.
Yeah,
thank
Johnny,
you so
thank
much,
you, man.
Don Jamieson, everybody.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. All right. Comedian Don Jamieson. You'll be seeing him real soon. But before we bring on Marky Ramone, I have a classic clip from 1978 out of the archives of Bay Productions of I Wanna Be Sedated. So, control room, roll it. right, the Ramones. Long live the Ramones. All right, as I said, he's a Rock and Roll Hall of Famer, a Grammy Award winner. He's a Lifetime Achievement Award winner from the legendary punk rock band, the Ramones. Let's give it up for Marky Ramone. How's it going?
Lifetime Achievement Award winner. I'm alive.
There you go.
How are you?
Doing all right, Marky.
Good.
Thank you so much for coming down,
Got
buddy.
it.
Had a long trip from Brooklyn or no?
No, it was good. It was just a long trip from Europe.
Yeah, tell everybody where you were last night.
I just got back from Spain, France, and Italy. So you get the jet lag, you know. So I haven't slept for about 24 hours or something like that, you know.
Now, you're originally from Brooklyn. Where did you grow up?
Flatbush. I went to Erasmus.
Oh, near the Flatbush Theater or no?
Near the Lois Kings, around there.
Okay, yeah.
But I hardly went to school, so in order to get the diploma, I went to summer school and night school. So that was 2 months. So I finished high school in 6 months. I goofed off for 10, but you know.
Well, at least you got your diploma, right?
Yeah. My father wanted the diploma on the wall and the frame, you know. So.
Now, your first original band you were in high school with, called Dust, right?
Yeah. One of the first heavy metal bands in America.
Talk about that.
Well, we were kids. There were gangs. We didn't want to fight. We wanted to just use the positive thing towards playing. So we formed a group, three-piece band, and there was no heavy metal in America. England, Europe was about a year ahead of us. So Black Sabbath solidified it, and we already wrote the first Dust album before the Black Sabbath album came out. Mm-hmm. But there were elements of metal like Blue Cheer and Steppenwolf and Mountain, but Dust was purely heavy metal. And then because we were naive and young and still in high school, and my father going like that to me, you better finish, we broke up, and my guitar player went on to produce the first two Kiss albums.
Yeah. Who was that? That was Richie Wise, right?
Yeah.
And now talk about Neil Bogart. He's the one, it was Buddha Records, right?
Buddha, Kama Sutra, then Casablanca.
Yes.
So he signed us up, and that was it. We started touring at Alice Cooper and you name it. And then, like I said, I had to finish summer school and night school.
Now, a lot of the stories I was reading in the book were CBGBs, like anybody who turned out to be huge years later, from like the Stones and David Bowie and John Lennon, just that popped in and out of there, right?
Yeah, well, they were curious. It started in '74. We needed a place to play. So I was with another band at the time, but you had the Ramones, you had Blondie, Talking Heads, Television. And I was, in '76, I started playing with Richard Hell. We did the Blank Generation album. And then Tommy, for some reason, didn't want to tour anymore. Tommy Ramone, who was playing the drums. And then he asked me to join the Ramones, and that's how I got to do Road to Ruin. First song I recorded with them was I Want to Be Sedated.
That was the first song?
Yeah.
Did you think it was going to be the biggest hit of the Ramones' career?
That and Blitzkrieg Bop, I had no idea at the time.
Well, a lot of the Ramones songs, I mean, I'm a Ramone fan from not when you first started, but 1979 with Rockmore High School, but we'll get into that in a little while.
The first album was great because it was different.
Yeah.
The Rocket to Russia was great because they were maturing.
Yes.
And they were touring more, so they learned a lot more from that. And then Road to Ruin came out, and then the Phil Spector album came out, and we did what we could do. We did Rock and Roll High School, Rock and Roll Radio, and if it became a hit, great. But we always wanted to work with Phil Spector, and he loved the Ramones, and we always loved his wall of sound with the Ronettes and the Righteous Brothers and the Crystals and John Lennon, George Harrison. So it was a good combination of two walls of sound.
Let me get a camera shot of some of these records. This is Marky's first album he played with the Ramones with the hit song I Want to Be Sedated. This is Road to Ruin. Then the next one was End of the Century. This was a great record. But as these records go on, you can hear the different changes and the maturity. But every one is great in their own way. A bunch of great songs. This Pleasant Dreams. This is
one of my favorites.
This is 1981. We Want the Airwaves. KKK Took My Baby Away. Excellent. Yeah. And then the last one here, I can't pronounce it. What is it?
Subterranean Jungle. I didn't like it. I didn't like the production.
This was towards the end that I really couldn't care for too much, but these I love. These are great. And then the first 3 albums, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
But these are excellent. And I don't think after that, they never could be something like this. These are masterpieces.
Well, you know, you do 8 albums, 7 albums, and then you eventually, you know, there's a time. You know what I mean? Some albums aren't as good as others. Some are.
Now, also a piece of nostalgia that like a lot of people wouldn't know that was in our trivia question. In 1972, you auditioned for the New York Dolls, right?
Yeah.
Now, is it true that your drummer was too good for the band that they didn't want you?
Well, I was friends with Johnny Thunders. The thing was, we were born on the same day, July 15th.
Wow, I didn't know that.
So yeah, you know, they asked me to come down with Jerry Nolan, and I just finished playing with Dust. Very intricate, very 5/4 time signatures. There was a lot of triplet drum rolls, quadruples, double stroke rolls, you name it. The Dolls were 4/4 straight ahead. So when I started playing with them, I was inserting all these outrageous drum fills which weren't needed.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I realized that the most important thing to do is to play for what the song needs, not to step on anybody.
Yeah.
So I was stepping on them, and then they picked Jerry, which was okay.
Jerry Nolan, yeah. Now the cult classic film, Rock and Roll High School.
Yeah.
I dig that show. How many people out there saw that? Rock and Roll High School. I had a crush on PJ Souls.
Yeah.
So everybody else did.
Yeah, a lot of attractive girls in the movie.
How was that film in the movie? Were you into it when you did it?
Well, it took 6 weeks. I was very surprised that after just doing Rock Roll High, Road to Ruin, we were going to make a movie. So we worked our way towards L.A., got into the movie, and you had to sit around all day until they call you part.
Yeah.
You could do a 5-minute part, but you'd have to hang around for 6-7 hours until they call you.
Yeah, because a lot of parts, and I watched it recently, like when you were playing it, I want to have something to do in the car.
Yeah,
how many takes you do that with? I mean, did they make you keep doing it over to play it to the T, or was it just pretty much supposed to be like a goof?
Los Angeles, 6 o'clock in the morning.
It was that early?
Downtown LA. That's when you have to be at the set, for that day. So it's a very famous DJ driving us from Los Angeles named Rodney Binghamheimer. He's the driver. We get out in front of the theater, which really wasn't the theater that we played in. It was just the front of it. That's Hollywood for you. So you got all these luncheonettes and delis open, and you're smelling the eggs and bacon cooking. People are stopping in the streets, going, "What the hell's going on here? Who are these guys? They look like aliens that just landed." And we get out of the car and we're dancing to the track of "I Want to Have Something to Do," but we had to do it about 3 or 4 times.
Yeah.
So you have to go around the block again, come back again, and do the same thing. So it wasn't. That was definitely an unusual part of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
To do.
That's as they say, cult classic, like
Thank
the
you.
Warriors, cult classic.
Yeah,
right?
Definitely, yeah.
Now, the first time I saw the Ramones on Staten Island was 1980 at the Paramount Theater, like we were talking.
Okay.
And I remember the line was down the block, and then you guys were in the fire escape hanging out. It was like, wow, look at this. We were kids. And I just moved from Brooklyn that year to Staten Island, so we took the train, we came down here. But that was an amazing concert. I snuck second row, and I took a bunch of pictures, and I still got Dee Dee Ramone's guitar pick.
Keep it.
I got it. It's in a frame.
Yeah.
I have a picture of actually with you and him in it. I was going to bring it, but I'll get you at the chiller. You could sign it.
Oh, you got it.
I didn't want to bother you with all that stuff. And
all
then
right.
the year later was the St. George Theater. It's a funny story. I got to tell Marky this. It was snowing that day. It was January 2nd, 1981, and I was running late to get the train. And I didn't want to be late because it was first come, first serve, general admission. So I'm running across the street on Amber Road. It was snowing, and I knew the train was coming. I heard it, and then I made this guy skid and crash. He went up on this guy's lawn, and it was stuck up there. So then I and I stopped. He looked, he was cursing me. I was like, I see you later. And I ran, and I made the train, and I got to the Ramones concert, and I think it was like third or fourth row again for that one.
It was our fault.
Oh, that was just the love of rock and roll. But yeah, man. And then the Dr. Pepper festivals we saw you.
Yeah, that was good.
Those are great.
Yeah, that was good.
So now, towards the end, before you left the band the first time with this album, talk about it. You mentioned it in your book, Fast.
Well, at that point, in '83, that really set it off. I was so pissed off about the production, hearing the playback in the studio. I started hitting the bottle, and I wanted to get out of my misery, you know. So it was getting to a point where I was doing a little bit too much. So it was time to just. They asked me to leave, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. Dee Dee had his problems. Joey had his problems. But if I didn't stop, I could have, you know, killed somebody in a car accident, or my health could have deteriorated. So I went away. I realized, you know, what's more important, you know, drinking too much or following your dream.
Exactly.
So that's what I decided to do, was just to clean up, go away, and for 4 years, that's what I did.
And that's the American dream right there. A lot of people can't say that. And he's been clean ever since.
You know, I don't care who knows if I can help somebody.
Yeah, it's in your book.
That's what I care about, you know, because people helped me when I was in the rehab. You know, it's all in the book.
That's everything. I mean, you know, you have to be honest, face your problems. Listen, it's better than lying.
Well, you know, sometimes you got to let it out. You know what I mean? And along the way, if you can help somebody, you know, if they like you playing, or they like the band you're in, and they're a little screwed up, and if they can go on the right track, good.
Listen, a lot of my friends, me too. You know, we all were tied up with things. Only the strong survive, and the ones with the good families and with the goodwill to semi-stay straight. Listen, everybody ain't angels, but there's a time and place for things, I believe, and it's your choice whether you want to clean up or not clean up.
Right. I'm not a preacher.
Yeah.
If you want to do what you want to do, you do it, you know? That's it.
Now, okay, let me get into this. Our good friend, and I got something here for you. First time I saw the Ramones on TV was Uncle Floyd show. I was a big fan of Uncle Floyd.
We loved him.
Uncle Floyd, you remember Uncle Floyd, right?
Yeah. We would have rather been an Uncle Floyd than, you know, like the David Lettermans or Jay Leno's. But even though we were on those shows, but we also liked a guy you like too, Joe Franklin.
Yeah, Joe Franklin, exactly. That's the other one I saw you on.
Yeah, me and Joey loved him. We'd go on there, do interviews with him. He was knowledgeable, very knowledgeable about show business, everything.
He was the king of nostalgia. Like, you can't say he's Johnny Carson, but Johnny Carson ain't Joe Franklin, and Joe Franklin ain't Johnny Carson. But Joe Franklin could answer any question underneath the table with anybody in the studio from any kind of music or entertainment trivia.
That's why we liked him.
Yeah. But I got something, because when he was here, he was sitting in this not the Zach seat, but he was right there, Joe Franklin, and I asked him about music, and then he mentioned the Ramones. I got a fast clip here to show you guys when Joe Franklin talks about the Ramones. Fast. It's about 45 seconds. Control room, roll. Now, Joe, listen, I've been a drummer in the music business for like more than half my life. Who are your best and your favorite groups that came on the show?
Well, I gave the first exposure ever to New Kids on the Block.
Yeah?
One of my classic shows. Anybody remember my show with Jay Giles Band?
Yeah, that I remember.
They were sensational. They were in town for one day. David Letterman offered them $75,000. They said, no, we want to go on a Joe Franklin show because we like Joe. So they were on. That was one of my classics. I gave the first exposure. If you name any group, I probably had them on first.
You know what my favorite was? The Ramones.
Oh, I love the Ramones. How many left?
There's only, well, the original drummer, Tommy, who left the band earlier, prior to 75, Marky Ramone's still living.
Right.
And he's going to be on the show. I told you, he said hello.
Let me know. Oh, I want to watch that day.
No, I definitely will.
I remember.
That's it. Joe Franklin, long live the king.
So I got to say something. You are like Joe Franklin to me.
I wish I was as smart as him. I might be better looking.
No, I mean, it's great, but I mean...
I'm teasing.
No.
I love Joe.
I could see you on a major station. I don't, like a 4, 2, 7. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that.
You know, because you're very East Coast, and we need that.
There's not nobody that's East Coast or Italian on late night.
We need that. You know, we need you there, and eventually I think that's going to happen.
I hope so, Marky.
And you know what? I'll miss you.
No, listen, you better not, man. You're gonna be right with us.
You know what I'm saying?
You kidding me?
You know, probably have a harder time getting booked.
No. I promise you, you would be one of my regulars. The Ramones broke up in 1996. What was the reason for that? Because you guys were all fairly young.
Thing is this. It was 22 years. Me and Joey and Johnny were in a Holiday Inn, and it was 94. So we were deciding to retire in 96, but we had to do 2 more years of playing to make last shows. You just don't do one last show.
No, you can't.
Because you got to do it in different countries around the world. So that's what we had to do. So we thought that after 22 years, me playing 1,700 shows and 10 studio albums, and they were together 6 more years longer than I was in the group, it was time.
Yeah.
So it was the right time to stop. So we just did what we had to do. Our last show was in Los Angeles. And the last show, it was like, oh, see you later. You know, there really wasn't any, you know, huggy, kissy kind of thing. It was like, see you around, see you back at home, see you later.
Yeah.
You know, I went back to the hotel. I didn't party. There were a lot of people that wanted to party. I just went back to my hotel room, ordered 3 pints of Ben and Jerry's, and I stuffed myself.
I know, I hear you.
You know?
That's the next best thing.
And the next thing I know, like, I was on the plane with Joey on the way home back to New York. But that was the reason, because, you know, you want to go out on a high. You want to go out on a high. You don't want to go out not as good as you were, you know? You want to maintain a quality. You know, that's what we thought. I don't know anybody else thought, but I think to this day that if they didn't succumb to cancer, we might have had a reunion.
Definitely.
You know?
I definitely think
everybody else is doing it. You know, so we probably would have had a reunion.
Now, in 2001, the Ramones were inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That must have been great, right?
I think that was 2002. Yeah.
Oh yeah, well, that's what the Wikimedia said. I apologize.
Wikimedia, okay.
Terrible.
2002. Yeah, that was 2002. We was very surprised that they recognized our genre of music. We were the first punk band to be in there, and we were amongst our peers: Elvis, Chuck Berry, the Beatles, the Stones, Hendrix, the Who, the Kinks, you know, the Motown sound, all those guys, you know. So we were very grateful to have been inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Now, what was it? The MTV Music Awards. Bono.
That was 2001.
Okay. And now Bono from U2 presented you the MTV Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yeah.
How was that? That was great, right?
Yeah, nice guy. He's a big Ramones fan, and we went there, and there was the statue. It was me and John, and you know, it was the bubblehead guy, you know, the gold guy with the flag. And
they were a little silly, those statues, right?
Yeah, and they're heavy too. But the Grammy, the Lifetime Achievement Grammy, was very cool. That we got, I think, 3 years ago. After that, you can't go anywhere else.
No, you can't. I mean, it's great.
You know, I've been to the mountain. You know what I mean?
Now, you put out a lot of different products through the years. The Ramones DVD Raw compilation, and that went certified gold.
Yeah.
That was like your biggest selling DVD for the Ramones, right?
Yeah, I made it.
I got that. That's great, with all the homemade footage and all the touring and all.
Yeah, I made that. I took 2 cameras around with me for 9-10 years, and I go all around the world with them. And when you're in the inner circle, you know, you're able to take the videos because they were kind of shy.
Yeah.
And they knew me, so it was okay.
Now talk about your internet radio Sirius FM satellite show, Marky Ramone's Blitzkrieg.
Now that's on Sirius XM.
Sirius FM. Who wrote these things? He's fired. I did.
That's a radio station that goes out to all the states in the United States. It's in your cars. It's Sirius.
What channel is it? Where could people see it?
30 million subscribers.
Wow.
So I was asked to do a show 10 years ago, just whatever I wanted to play, and I wanted to play punk rock. So it's in its 10th year, and I want to help new bands, and I play old school. I play a lot of the new school.
What's the channel? What times and what days?
41 Faction. It's called Faction, and it's on channel 41. It's on Wednesday, 8 o'clock at night.
All right.
And then there's a show on Friday and Saturday. So it's on 3 times a week, 3 hours, 3 hours.
Tune in to Marky Ramone's Blitzkrieg. Now listen, that's almost your time, Marky. Now you're still currently playing with Marky Ramone's Blitzkrieg.
Yes.
You're touring with them currently, right?
All around the world. I feel the Ramones songs are too good not to be played.
Yes.
So I'm not going to compete with the Ramones. I try to do originals. I had 30 originals that I put out on 2 albums after the Ramones broke up. But the older and new generation want to hear the Ramones songs.
Yeah, 1000%.
So I put a great band together, and that's what I do. That's what I still enjoy. As long as the body permits, I'll continue. If not, I'll just stop.
I would love to hit your bar with you sometime when you go somewhere out of the country. I don't work all the time. I'm with the union. We get laid off from time to time, so I'll keep you posted.
Yeah, when you get laid off, come with me.
I will.
You
I'll bring I got a cool video camera, whatever you want me to do. We'll have fun.
I went through 3 of them. So
now listen, this is the book right here, Punk Rock Blitzkrieg, My Life as a Ramone, author Marky Ramone. I would definitely check it out. It's an awesome book, and I wish you all the best with this, Mark, and many more years on this earth. Marky Ramone. All right, buddy. Tony Trainer, Marky, thank you so much, brother. Marky Ramone again. All right. And that's it, guys. This is the time we say goodnight, and I'd like to thank everybody for coming down and sticking around for the long show for our 100th episode. I would like to especially thank Paulie Annucci's Restaurant and Jerry Cigar and Bagels for donating all the food you guys eat. Thank you very much. And for any information or studio audience seating, just log on to JohnnyPTV.com. So I'm Johnny P. Get us home safe, and good night.
Such a drag. You tell a whole